All right, Zoom hands up if you missed me yesterday. Oh, come on. All right, appreciate you guys being here today. We got had a good work day, full pads today, being a fifth practice. I thought our guys, continuing to work, continuing to get a better understanding of the expectation. We're continuing to push them, harder and making sure that that we're living up to that to our standard and to that expectation of every day being better. And today we're able to introduce some red zone situations. It's really kind of first time for us to do that. We weren't able to get to it in spring practice, so it was good to have some extensive teaching there. Guys were definitely flying around. It was good to see some of the the explosiveness and physicality that started to show up through the development of our fundamentals and technique. And I think our running backs had a really nice day today. I think that they're starting to kind of settle into a lot of the roles and responsibilities that we asked them to. I mean, it's an extensive playbook for those guys, just all the versatility that they can have. And I mean, you're starting to see them play a little bit faster. Continuing to work a lot of different combinations and trying to create as much competition as possible. You're here, still early in camp, but building up towards a scrimmage situation here on Saturday. So it was a good day. We were able to get a little bit of moving the ball on the field here today for a couple periods, which was good to see guys have to operate and communicate and still trying to create as much adversity. Even trying to create some crowd noise or just things to try to distract our players. Throughout the course of practice, and I think they're handling it well, but we still have a ton of work to do.
First question will be from Ira with Warchant.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Well, Ira, how about you?
Good. The evaluation process that you guys are going to have to do in terms of making up for some of the time you lost in the spring and figuring out maybe positions, how long does that process go on? Or do you feel like at this point everybody's kind of at the spot that they're probably going to be in?
Oh no, that's going to continue on for weeks, I'm sure. And it's one of the underlying benefits for us, especially being in our first year, that the season moved back a week. It gives us a little bit more time. We're going to be smart with our guys. Our fall camp schedule changed just a little bit. You're probably going to have an additional day off within that. The course of being able to add another week, but it also allows us to stay in good situations, not really moving our focus to Georgia Tech for another week before the season opener, and so that really lets us get as much speed work as possible. So this evaluation is going to go over the next couple of weeks, and see guys elevate their game as they get more opportunities.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned this was the first day in full pads for this year. Did any individual stick out to you, and how excited were you and the staff to get the kids in pads and have some more contact work?
Well, I mean, I think there were some definitely some bright moments. I think looking at it, I saw some good things from Robert Cooper up front. He flashed in some good moments. Malcolm Ray is really, I think, starting to come along. Fabian Lovick was kind of what we were hopeful that he would be coming in. I'm excited about that group. We know a couple of guys that have been here and played extensive snaps here before, but it's been good seeing those guys really coming along. Quayshawn Fuller is I think having a really good start to camp, and he's gained some really good weight. He's about 280 pounds now, but moving well. I think you look at I mentioned the running backs earlier. I think they had a really nice day today. I mean, some of the O line is continuing to work and working to gel in regards to what they're doing. I say like Thomas Schrader, Robert Scott, two young guys that have come in. I'm really excited about that. And I think that they have, I think they're going to have a chance to continue to grow and develop and see if they can't put themselves in a position to be able to help us in that regards, Warren Thompson, I think, has had a really, really nice camp so far. He was really trying to establish himself as a guy that can maintain a consistent level of play, and he's really improved in kind of his overall physicality. So just to name a few guys that you really kind of jumped off. Just of course practice. Obviously, we get to watch film and we get a better sense of that.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Going well yourself.
I'm good, thanks. So you mentioned this being the first time you've gotten to look at the guys inside the red zone. I guess what exactly are you looking for in that sort of situation, and what did maybe stood out about how the offense and defense executed inside the red zone?
Well, when you get down there, obviously the field shortens and spacing is critical. Details, fundamentals. Kind of helping them get an understanding of how we need to be spaced offensively, how we need to try to restrict that space defensively. The different type of combination runs that you can see. Trying to make sure we have as many hats to the ball, and overall just the mindset. You get defensively, that's your back's against the wall and you got to respond. Offensively, we got to make sure that we are finishing with points, but we want to get the ball in the end zone. So just trying to teach those situations as much and as best as possible, and then creating that competitive spirit when we get down there.
Hey, Mike, good to see you. Just wanted to get your reaction. You and the administration made it quite clear that you guys are very much moving forward with football, but what was your reaction to the Big Ten and Pac-12's announcement yesterday?
Obviously, it's disappointing for any student athlete when the opportunity to play and for all that they've worked for, when it's taken away. But at the end of the day, it's the choice goes to the leadership administrations of those conferences, and for whatever reasons that they felt they wanted to do that. I'm very grateful for our administration, the ACC, the in-depth research that they're doing to make sure that we do have all the information before a final decision is made. We have everything in place. We're continuing to prepare. I absolutely trust the leadership, protocols that are within our university for our football team. Something that we all feel very comfortable with, and we're just trying to do our part in keeping these players safe and allowing them to go out and play the game that they love.
Last one will be Kurt Weiler from Democrat.
Hey, Coach, with the preseason kind of looking a lot different this year than most, how much tougher has that made it, kind of from your impression, acclimating the freshmen? And kind of along with that, is this the time of camp where you start really seeing which freshmen you think you're going to be able to count on kind of right away?
Yeah, probably this next week. Usually you get in that second week as the installs continue to grow. Honestly, I'd say that it might actually have been – I think some of these guys are going to put themselves in a better position because of the walkthroughs that we were able to have beforehand. And that's something that you were not able to do on most years. If a freshman's here in spring practice, they get that, kind of that advantage in the sense of, we'll go through the 15 practices. But, even the guys that weren't here, when we got to July and, I guess it was the 24th, we got those 2 weeks to be able to have, 6 walkthroughs a week, another hour of meeting and the summer access that really kind of helped, prepare them to come in and have a better understanding, and all the information was fresh on their mind. Now it's just the fundamental repetition, and being able to go out there and get those reps. I'm excited. I'm excited about our guys. I think there's definitely some young guys that are going to put themselves in a great position. You look at Stephen Dix, obviously was here in the spring, but DJ Lundy has really flashed at some moments. Kentron Portier, he is having a phenomenal camp for a freshman. I think that he's he's going to put himself in a great position. Brian Robinson, even though he was here in the spring, I mean, those guys, and then all three of the freshman running backs have shown great flashes. And so, I'm looking forward to that group. You look at the quarterbacks, I think Chuba, it's really kind of helped him along these first few practices. Obviously he's going to be playing quarterback. There's a big menu of what you have to learn, what you have to do. But he's really spending a lot of time studying and getting better with each day that goes on. So it's fun seeing the competitive aspect of these guys and the competition they're going to have at each of those positions.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry, we were a little quick with Coach today. He had a noon meeting we had to get him to. I believe Devontae Love Taylor will be next.